When creating a YouTube channel, one of the things you have to consider is your niche. Now, this is not just specifically what you're talking about, but what are you talking about within what you're talking about? Now, this could be something as simple as sports, but sports covers a pretty broad spectrum of topics. So the idea with a niche is that you're going to pick a topic, and then you're going to pick a subtopic of that. And then as you start thinking about what you want to talk about, you're going to start picking more subtopics in the subtopics, okay? So let's just take sports as an example. Now, if you go on YouTube and just type in sports, you're gonna find no shortage of videos relating to sports. But let's say you're really interested in basketball. Basketball, very popular, but that's still pretty broad. So what within basketball are you really familiar with, really interested in? Because that's the thing with niches, is you have to ask yourself a couple questions. One of them is, what am I really excited about? What topics am I very interested in? And what topics could I talk to somebody about for hours and hours? Really, what are your passions? What are the things that excite you? Because if you have something that excites you and something that you're really familiar with, then it's going to be very easy to make videos on that. Another example of this could be, have you been working for most of your life? Are you very talented and knowledgeable in a certain field of study or a field of work? For example, a history professor could probably talk ad nauseum about history or World War II or whatever their specific field is. Going back to our basketball example, if you type in basketball on YouTube, you're going to get a lot of different kinds of videos. Basketball replays, basketball highlights, basketball tutorials, basketball tips and tricks, how to play basketball, things like that. So how do you decide what you want to do? Well, one way to find out is, what kind of videos are you watching on YouTube? What excites you? What interests you? Because once you kind of know that, it's easy to determine what sort of things interest you. Let's just say you play a lot of basketball and you find yourself teaching people how to do some of the more dexterous moves on the court. So you could start doing tutorials on how to dribble and how to dribble while walking backwards and things like that. So now we've gone from sports to basketball to dexterity training. Okay, what about dexterity training on an outdoor court as compared to an indoor court? Just even going from basketball to street ball, those are two completely different areas of play. So if you're really skilled in outdoor play, somebody who's gone from indoors their whole life, say somebody in high school who's played indoor ball, they want to play street ball with their friends once they get out of high school, but they might want to learn some tips and tricks, things to look out for. This is just an example. So see how you start niching down. Think of it like a funnel. You're slowly funneling it down. Now, you might be thinking, what happens if I funnel down too much? See, with the topic of basketball, you might be able to reach a lot of people, but you might not be able to hold their attention because there's so much content out there. Once you start narrowing things down, you're gonna be able to get the people who are looking for specific things. Because remember, YouTube is part of Google, and YouTube is the world's second biggest search engine. So the vast majority of people going to YouTube are typically asking a question. How do I do this? Where is this located? How do I start a new business? Things like that. And when you start answering some of these questions in a very specific way, you're going to get the attention of the people who are really looking for that content. For example, this video is targeted towards people who want to start a new YouTube channel, and specifically those who are wondering what a niche is. So chances are, if you're watching this video, you specifically wanted to find out what a niche is because you're interested in starting a YouTube channel. Make sense? One of the major mistakes of new YouTubers is that they make a video and then they put it online expecting money to just start rolling in from ad revenue without any sort of real optimization or thought put into it. Think of it like going to the grocery store. When was the last time you ever went to the grocery store with no plan in mind? You just walked into the grocery store to see what would happen and see what you would walk out with. Probably never. Generally speaking, if you go to a grocery store, you know you're there for something. I need to get eggs, milk, and cheese, and then if I see something else, I'll grab it. But you at least have some sort of idea. Likewise, if you are preparing for Thanksgiving dinner, and you need to go get everything for Thanksgiving dinner, you know I need turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, and all the fixings to go with Thanksgiving. You have a hard and set fast plan. You know exactly what you need, and so you're going to start targeting the dairy section and the meat section and the spice section and all these things. Same thing with a niche. You want to start targeting the specific areas that other people are going to be looking for. So another YouTuber who makes content on how to make YouTube videos and things like that, she also does copywriting and things like that. Her name is Alex Catoni. She said something that really stuck with me, and that was, if you try to be known for everything, you'll be known for nothing. There's a saying, if you try to catch too many rabbits, you'll catch none of them. You really need to narrow down and focus, because if you're too scatterbrained and you're trying to accomplish too many tasks at once, it's hard to really actually finish one. If you want to do a personal vlog, and you want to do how-to videos, and you want to do tutorials, and you want to do, pranks and things like this, or whatever the case may be. You have all these different ideas that you want to do. You really want to consider which one you want to narrow down on, because the riches are in the niches. So if you can niche down, you're likely to find much better success on YouTube than if you try to do a little bit of everything. Because the way the algorithm works is, once you start producing videos, you kind of need to start making videos that all kind of pertain to the same thing, because YouTube needs to determine who your audience is and what audience your videos are for. So if you do something like how to give a cat a bath, and then how to cook beef stew, and then a daily vlog of you washing your car, it's like, who are these videos for, right? And also, who would watch any of that? Like, nobody wants something that scatterbrained. Like, unless you're super big and people are just interested in you as a person, that's never going to work for you on YouTube. But if you are able to find something that you're passionate about, something that you could talk about for long lengths of time, something that you could see yourself talking about for years in the future, because remember, you're building a business, you're building a channel that has its own culture and its own mindset, sort of thing, and you're going to start attracting people. So can I talk about this for the near future? And is this something that is either entertaining or educational to people? Can I answer questions, or can I show people how to do things in a way that brings them back for more? So there you have it. What are you good at? What do you like doing? What are you passionate about? These are all the things to consider when discovering your niche. And don't be intimidated, because your niche can change over time. I've seen YouTubers who started off as gaming channels, and then they moved into reactions and memes, and you also have live streaming and podcasts now. So there's a lot of different options if you want to talk about current events or whatever. And you don't just have to do long form, short form, things like that. You have a lot of options nowadays on YouTube. Okay, so I get it, niches. But maybe you're wondering if you should even start a YouTube channel. Well, follow the link in the description down below to my video on the pros and cons of starting a YouTube channel. If this information was something that was helpful, let me know down in the comments. Hit the like and subscribe. That signals to me if this is content that you appreciate and if it's helpful to you. Thanks a lot.